the, the actual syllabus, I just want to tell you that you need Python to be installed in your systems to run the commands. So the latest version of the Python is Python 3.8. So you can download the Python from. I will tell you how to download and install. Just you can go to Google. Go to Google. Then search for Python. Download for Windows. Okay, if you have Windows, you can download it for Windows. If you have other operating system, you have to download it for that operating system. For Mac, it is different. For Linux, see for Mac and Linux, Mac operating system and Linux operating system and Ubuntu operating system. When you install the operating system itself, by default, Python is installed in that. Okay, only for Windows you have to download it from this python.org. Just click on this. Okay, you can see here download Python 3.8.5. So when you click on this, it will be downloaded. Since it is installed in my system, I am not going to download and install. Okay, just download it and install in your system. So when you install, an interactive shell is installed along with the Python. An interactive shell called as idle is installed in your system. So just what you need to do is just click on the start menu. Okay, go to all programs. Here you can see a Python 3.8. Just click on that.
Hello?
Yes. Yes. Some disturbance was there. Just now somebody spoken. Is that? Okay. Anyhow. So hope you got it. Just you have to download and install Python. Along with that, idle will be installed automatically. So just you need to click on this idle. When you click on idle, uh, window will appear. Show that window. This particular window will appear. Okay, we say it idle. Similarly, in case of Ubuntu or Linux, just you need to go to the terminal and just type the Python. Uh, then this idle will open in that case. So which starts with this three greater than symbols. Okay, fine. So as we move on, we'll see how to execute the different commands, how to work with the Python using this idle. If you get any doubts in between, you can ask in between, or just you can chat in the chat box. The same thing which just I have told is mentioned in this particular slide. Don't worry, I will share these slides in the Google Classroom. So missing here. And, idle, we have started idle here. This is our idle. Just to check that whether our idle is installed properly and it is working properly. Just try 2 plus 2 and press enter. Give the output, that is and the addition of 2 plus 2, that is 4, has to be displayed. So you can work with all the different operators here. For example, I can also have 2 into 2. Also I can have 2 into 5. This addition, division, multiplication, all the things you can do like this. Also go for subtraction. If operations work directly, you can directly write the expressions mixed expressions also you can write like 7 plus 8 into 2. Okay, you can also have parentheses 7 7 into 2. That will also work here. This is how we can work with the different Python expressions in case of idle. Okay, fine. Hope you got it. If you get any doubts, you can ask in between. Fine. So there are, along with these expressions, these operators, we also have different operators here. The list of operators are mentioned in the slide. Hope it is visible for all of you. One first operator here is 2 stars, which we call it as an exponent. Okay, works as an exponent. That is nothing but 2 to the power of 3. We have a modulus operator, which you are familiar with. Then we have a 2 hash, 2 slash, nothing but integer division, or we call it as a floor quotient. The quotient which we will get is in the floor manner. Getting my point? Floor quotient in the sense the quotient. See, if you go for 22 divided by 8, what you will get? 8 point 2 point something you will get. Okay, that quotient is floor here. Okay, not C, it is floor. Division you can see here, division 22 by 8. See, this division is 2.75. This 0.75 is floored here. That is what I was talking about. Then we have multiplication, subtraction, addition, all the things as you have in a different languages. Okay, so this is what we say the precedence. When you have all these operators in a single expression, these will work like first two is exponent, then modulus, then division, floor division, then division, multiplication, subtraction, addition. In this fashion, it will work. Okay. Then the data types in case of Python are three types of data are there. One is integers, second one is floating point numbers, and the third one is strings. Okay, I think it is a network problem, guys. Uh, we'll get proper in some minutes. There are three types of data: integers, floating point numbers, and strings. As you declare the variables using the data types in other languages, it is not necessary in case of Python. Directly you can take some variable and assign the value to it. That is the declaration. It's not necessary to take it as in, flow, or string. Okay? Directly take a variable and assign a value to it. Here integers contain both positive numbers and negative numbers. Similarly, floating point numbers and strings always will be encoded within the single quotes. Okay, strings always will be in single quotes. Fine. So now how to work with the strings? Okay, we call it string concatenation and replication. String concatenation means is the addition of the addition symbol in case of Python works like concatenation operator for strings. As you can see here, we have Alice as one string and Bob as another string. If you use the plus operator in between, you will get Alice Bob. Okay, let us check it in the idle. Always take a single quote U plus U. The center you will get uh, combined string, that is concatenated string you will get. Okay, but you cannot combine two different what is it data types. For example, you cannot have u plus 23. You will get the error. You will get the error for this because we cannot combine string and integer. Okay, we cannot combine string and integer. So we will get the error. That is what it is mentioned in this particular slide. Similarly, as addition, we also have a star operator. Other than multiplication, it works as replication. Okay, we'll show in the idle. Other than multiplication, for two integer variables, it will work as multiplication. For a string and a integer, it will work as replication. So if I take star 5, you will get 5 times u. Okay. So you need to remember plus operator between two strings will work as concatenation. Star operator between one string and one integer will work as replication. Okay. So as I said, we need not to take any data name, data type to assign a variable or to start a variable in case of Python. Just take a variable name and assign a value to it. Some examples are mentioned here. To initiate a variable, always we use the assignment statement. Usually, we use the assignment statements in case of Python. So, as mentioned here, we have a spam which is initialized to 40. So, when you just type the spam, its value will be shown. Okay, for example, the idle, if you take, so I will take b equals to, if you type b, will get shown. We will take another q equals to 25. Q display QQ. So if I want to add these to P plus QQ, I will get 150. So this is how it works. This is how we can do. So in one variable, we can store different values in the same program. Okay. The spam will contain 40 until spam will contain 40 until we will not change the value of the spam. Okay. For example, here in spam in P I have 75 and in QQ I have 75. So if I take P equals to another value, say P, P will contain string value P. So if I display P, it will be PT. Hope you got it. Okay. So P contains now P. Okay. You are also familiar with how to declare variables in case of other languages. Just we need to follow three rules to declare any variables. So it should be only one word always. You cannot have a space in between. Okay, always take it as a one word. We can use only letters, numbers, and underscore character. Special characters are not allowed. and it can't begin with a number. These three rules you have to follow to initiate with a variable name. Okay. So some valid and invalid variable names are mentioned in the table. Just go through them. For example, I have a balance here. Okay, it is a valid variable name, but if I take it as current hyphen balance, it is invalid because I have taken a hyphen here. Hyphens are not allowed. So any what do you say special character except underscore is not allowed. Just keep this in mind. Current balance without space in between is valid. Current space balance is invalid. Spaces are not allowed. So this is valid. Current underscore balance. This is invalid because it starts with a number. Okay. And this underscore spam is valid because starts with underscore is right. Underscore is allowed. 42 is invalid because numbers are not allowed. We can't begin with a number. Spam in uppercase letters valid. Total hyphen dollar UM is invalid because we have a dollar in there. Okay, dollars and special characters are not allowed. Account 4 is valid. Hello is invalid because there is a special character that is single quote. Okay, so this you have to remember to declare any variable in case of Python. So let us start with our first program. Okay, just you have how to run your first program in Python. I will show you. Okay, in different operating system, it is in a different way. Just I will show in the Windows how to execute a Python program using the idle. So just we need to go to idle first. Okay, go to idle. It is already open here. In idle, just go to file. Here we have a option called as new file. Just click on new file. A notepad will appear. Okay. In this, you can type the program. You can type the complete program. Since already I have typed program inside many programs I have. Let me take fine. So this is our first program. Hope it is visible for you. So we will go line by line here for this particular program. Line by line we will go. The first line here is print hello world. So this is our first line. Print hello world. Okay. This hello world is what? This is a what do you say parameter or argument. It is an argument for this print function. So whatever you take in a single quotes, it will be printed as it is for the if you use the print function. Okay. Whenever we use the print function and whatever you type inside this print function, it is printed as it is on the screen. Okay. So the first line hello world will be printed as it is. Next again we have another print function. In that print function the argument is what is your name. So next line will print what is your name. Ask for the user their name. Then we have my name equals to input. So this is another function. Input is another function in Python which will read the input from the keyboard from the user. Okay, it reads the values through the keyboard, and the red value is stored in my name. My name is a variable here. In my name, the whatever the user types, it will be stored in my name. Okay. Then again we have one more print function. Here in this print function, what we have, it is good to meet you plus minus. Already you have worked with uh, such type of concatenation in case of Java. Okay, so this is one string. It is combined with what? This particular variable. This is variable for us now. So whatever value stored in this variable is concatenated with this particular string. Okay. Again, one more print function we have. In this print function, what it is doing? It is asking the no, it is not asking. It is just printing on the screen that the length of your name is. The length of your name is. And here it is finding the length of the name. Okay. This len function will find the length of this particular my name string variable. Okay. So now my name is a string variable because whenever it is asked here what is your name will be entered by the user using the input function. It will read through keyboard and it is stored in my name. So the length will be found here and it is printed as it is. Okay. Again, one more print function I have. In that, it is asking what is your age. Okay. Then we are reading the age of the user using the input function again. See here we have asked the name, so he will enter a string value. He will enter a string value. So string is stored in my name. Here we have asked for the age. He will enter an integer value. He will enter an integer value and it is stored in my age. Remember, it is integer. It is integer. So here in this print function, what we are doing, u will be plus str of int of my age plus 1. Why we are taking it like this is, we have entered an integer here. We cannot combine, as I said previously, we cannot combine an integer with a string. This is string, this is integer, and again this is string. We cannot combine a integer with a string. So we have to convert this integer into string. Okay. So int of my age plus 1. My age plus 1. So if I enter 23 plus 1, that is 24. That 24 will be converted into string here. Okay. It is converted into string. So if I run this particular program, just saving it. So first line displayed hello world. Second line is asking what is your name. Just enter some name, and it is good to meet you Arun. Displayed it is good to meet you Arun. The length of your name is 4. Okay, 4 characters are there. The length is 4. Then it is asking what age. So just I have entered 20, and if I press enter, some okay, there is an error here. You can see you will be square of int of my age plus 1. Let me make changes here. Go to the program. I will just take here, instead of int of my age, I will just take my age plus 1, square of my age plus 1. Hit the C, save it, save, run this model. So then it will repeat around age 20. What is missing? Can only concatenate string, not into str. Let us check this program once again. Was correct. The square root of my age. So this is what is here of int of my age and this is oh, now this is correct. Square of int of my age. So this is converted to integer. My age converted to integer plus 1 is added to it, and again it is converted to string. Okay. Now save it. Run this. Now add the name. Enter the name. Enter the age. Oh, now we got it correct. Hope you got it. Any doubts in this? If you have any doubts in this program, you can ask. Program is in front of you. Look at the program once. If you have any doubts in any of the line, you can ask. No doubts? Okay. One person says no doubts. Okay, guys, fine. If you don't have any doubts, we'll proceed with the next slide. So in the next slide, again we have how can we dissect this particular program. Dissecting means how to write a program in Python. Always it starts with a comment. Let me show you the slide. Okay, dissecting your program. So always the program you can start with the comment so that it is very easy to understand for the user or anybody who is seeing your program. In Python, command starts with a hash symbol. You can see the comments which I have added in this particular program. See, there are some comments I have added. This is one comment. Here we have another comment. Okay. You can also initialize or start with a comment at the start of the line. What the program is about. Program to be username and age. Just a simple comment. You can add comments anywhere inside the program. In front of any line also you can take a comments like this to say what the particular line is doing. Okay, if that comment goes to the next line, again you have to take one more hash symbol here in the next line. So that is only single line comment it is. Okay. If the comment line proceeds in the next line, you have to take again hash symbol in the next line here, like this. Fine. Then print function we have seen in the program. What the print function does, display the string value inside the parenthesis on the screen. Whatever the string value is there, that is displayed. Then input function we have seen. What input function does is you wait for the user to type some text on the keyboard and press enter. We have read the user name and age there. Fine. Then we have seen this line printing the user's name. It is good to meet you plus my name. What it has done here, it has concatenated this my name variable. Whatever the value is stored in the my name variable, it is concatenated with the string. It is good to meet you, and the same is displayed on the screen. It is good to meet you, Arun. Okay. Then we have seen the length function. What the length function does, alien function. evaluates to the integer value of the number of characters in that string. Whatever the string you have used, its length will be found. Then we have seen the str function and int function inside the program. In this particular line we have seen here. Uh, so it in the program where we have used this here, str and int function. Initially, what the int function does here, it converts this my age into integer, and 1 is added to it. Then this whole thing, what it is, if it is 20 plus 1 means 21. This 21 is converted to string. Why we have converted here? Because we cannot combine or concatenate one string and one integer. If I directly take here my age, it will not work. My age plus 1 or my age, because that is a integer. Okay. What next? The same example is given here. This one, str of 29 is 29. Print I am str of 29 years old. So it will print here I am 29 years old. We have converted it. It was some integer. And we have converted to string. So what the str int float functions does is, str function converts the integer or float value into string. Int function converts the float value into int. Float function can convert the integer value to float, but we cannot convert string to integer or float. Getting my point? We cannot convert one string value to integer or float. For example, if I take int of say some o, I will get the error because that is invalid literal for int. Cannot convert any string value or a character to integer or float. Okay. Then one more thing is, we have read an age in the program. We have read the age here. Here the program, this one. Here we have read the age. My age equals to input. Even though I have entered the integer value, it is treated as what? String in case of Python. Whatever we enter in case of Python is treated as a string. So inside the program we have to convert it into appropriate value. That is why here we have taken int of my age instead of direct my age. First we have to convert it into integer, then we can do any operation on that. Okay. Then we wanted to print this whole thing, that is integer, in terms of string. Since we cannot combine or concatenate one string and one integer value, we have converted into string using the str function. Hope you got it. So whatever we enter using the input function is a string, not the appropriate value which we have entered. Even though we entered the integer or float value, it is a string. Inside the program, we have to convert it into appropriate value using the int or float function. So this is what one chapter will say. This is one chapter inside this first module. In the next class, we will see flow control. Flow control means, can anybody answer what is flow control? Someone answer what is flow control. What is flow control? What is flow control? Order of executing statements. Order of executing statements. Okay. Anybody else? Order in which program execution takes place. Okay. Sometimes you may not need to execute the program continuously from first line to last line. You may need conditions. You may need some loops. Okay. You may need of some tracking or continuous statement so that we can have a repetition of the some of the codes like that. So that is called as flow control. Here we may study if condition statements, looping statements, all those things we may study in this particular. Don't leave. I am taking the attendance. If you are leaving, you will be absent. Okay, I'm taking the attendance. Roll number one. I have a roll number list here. Okay, don't enter in the chat section yes or no. Just switch on your mic and say roll number one absent. Two. Roll number two. Rule number two.